Hello, all of you bold, beautiful, brilliant, and highly evolved souls. I am Davina, and today I'm going to talk about recovery for the scapegoat. And if you're here watching this video, then you were the scapegoat. I think, this one of the things that's very difficult for the scapegoat is really trusting that trusting their truth and trusting what they believe happened or what they know happened in their family. And so I know for myself, even up until yesterday, I'm still doubting, was I really the scapegoat? Was I really the scapegoat? And I'm searching over articles and reading them, signs that you were a scapegoat. And those doubts still, or at least until yesterday, were still coming up. And yeah, so one of the big signs that you were the scapegoat is this self-doubt, this wondering, was I actually the scapegoat? You might think that, well, maybe I just, maybe I imagined it all. Maybe I've just made all this up, or I'm just kind of playing the victim of the family, or so it's really important to understand that if you're continuously clicking on these kind of videos and searching in articles about scapegoats, you were the scapegoat. That was your reality. And yeah, you were the victim. And of course your siblings were also victims of abuse, but probably much less so. And what I call it is really a kind of a psychological and emotional rape, because that's really what they do, especially to the scapegoat, is to, you know, um, really, violate you and tear you down. Um, one article I was reading said the sentence, your integrity and sense of safety is constantly under attack, and that's exactly what it is like, you know um the invalidation or the insults or the dismissing and the controlling and all of that, tons of gaslighting, um is them, violating who you are, violating your wholeness as a human being, as the right to have your own emotions and have boundaries. And these things are not allowed in a narcissistic family. When you have a narcissistic parent or two parents that are narcissistic, um, you're not allowed to have feelings. You're not allowed to have boundaries, and it makes your life a living hell. And it really, if your life feels like a living hell, then you were the scapegoat. Then, I feel like recovery, it's got this nice word of like healing. It sounds like such a beautiful word, doesn't it? But in my experience, healing has really just, it's felt like an emotional hell. It just feels hellish at times. Actually, a lot of the time. Even, just a couple of hours ago, I'm in intense, like just frozen in terror. I can still feel the terror here. I'm still in a flashback, just a little bit less so, but yeah, I believe, flashbacks are almost constant. This is true for me. I don't know if it's true for you, but constant shame and fear and terror and anger and rage and loneliness and hopelessness and despair. What did I miss? It's deep sadness and grief. And it just keeps coming to the surface, keeps coming to the surface day after day after day. And it's just relentless. So another thing about the scapegoat is they are strong. You are strong. You are the strongest one of your family and the most emotionally intelligent one of your family. You are the one that could bear the shame of your family. And in a narcissistic cult-like kind of system, there must be a scapegoat, because the narcissist one of the biggest things of the narcissist is, of course, they have no empathy, no ability to empathize, and they also have no ability to take accountability for their actions. And so instead of being able to apologize to a child, or even if you're just setting a boundary with a child, you can still empathize with them and show that understand that they're frustrated or disappointed. A narcissist has no ability to do this. So everything then becomes, the scapegoat is blamed, the scapegoat is in the wrong, the scapegoat is the difficult one, the scapegoat is too sensitive, the scapegoat is being too emotional, the scapegoat is being unreasonable, the scapegoat is being dramatic, or overreacting. All these things is just shifting the blame to the scapegoat so that the narcissist can basically do whatever they want. And there are a lot of unspoken rules in a narcissistic family, and you don't challenge. One of them is, don't challenge the narcissist, because when you do, there's just more rage and contempt and disgust coming at you. So you really had no other option but to accept their reality of you, that you are somehow defective, or you have a mental problem, or you're too sensitive, or whatever that kind of label, or just that you're bad. You might just be kind of like the bad seed of the family. And people don't like truth tellers. They don't. It's you're the truth teller of the family. You're the one that says, hey, this is dysfunctional, right? Nobody here is feeling feelings. There's gaslighting going on, there's invalidation going on, people aren't respecting boundaries. Your siblings will also likely go along with, well, they most likely will go along with the narcissistic parent. It's an unconscious thing going on, a group sort of unconscious thing that they want to maintain this status quo, keep the denial going that everything is fine and our family is fine and there's nothing wrong going on, because the scapegoat is the problem. They're the ones. What's wrong with Donna? Everyone could focus on what's going on with Donna. And I think sometimes my dad even became a scapegoat at times, so it can shift as well. The scapegoat is the one who doesn't reflect back to the narcissist that kind of admiration and validation that they need for their survival. So if a child is crying or whatever, and the narcissist is unable to attend to that child, and then that scapegoat shows them that you're not empathetic, you have no empathy, you're not enough for me, kind of thing. It shows them that mirror of the underneath there, which is their self-loathing and their self-hate and their deep sense that they are worthless and incapable and all that stuff. That's what you reflect to them. You have to be very humble as a parent. I know as a nanny, you have to be incredibly humble to be like caring for a child and learning who they are as an individual, and takes tremendous amount of respect. And narcissists do not have respect either. The golden child, on the other hand, they'll reflect back to the narcissist mother or father, you're wonderful, you're so good, you're so perfect, you never do anything wrong. And so, that golden child will definitely, most likely, again, will not be on your side. So it can feel very alienating and very lonely to be the scapegoat, the only one who's going, doesn't everybody see what's happening here? Doesn't everybody want to evolve and make changes with themselves and go to therapy? And quite often, no, they don't. The narcissist definitely will never change, has no interest in changing, has no capability really for change, because that takes humility. And yeah, your siblings also, you know, if you're really lucky, maybe you have a sibling who also starts to awaken because they see that you are you know, on this path of healing. And wow, you know, if you have that, wow, I mean, blessings to you. And yeah, but otherwise, you know, for me, you know, going no contact has been absolutely the one and only option. And I believe that's the case for many of us, to really begin to do the deep healing work that this requires. And this is excruciating at times, excruciatingly painful. And if you can think about it, like, you are the living proof. You are the living proof of what a like a horrendous childhood that you had. Every time you have a flashback, you can remind yourself, like, this is how bad it was. You know, if you had grown up with loving, empathetic, respectful parents who actually cared about your feelings and cared about your needs, and acted in loving ways, in patient ways. You know, love is respect, love is gentleness, love is spaciousness, love is allowing. And narcissists don't do anything like this, right? It's all the opposite of that. It's controlling and non-respectful, and you know, just non-loving. You know, I sometimes have this dream of maniac love, which is a club I used to go to, and that's what narcissists can only give, is like maniac love. It's not love at all. Yeah, so what was my point there? Anyway, yeah, to anyway, just understand that um that you, yeah, that you were the scapegoat. That is, if you're watching this, then yes, I'm validating you, and saying yes. And the recovery is to validate yourself. I just did a couple of videos on self-validation and invalidation. So you can check those out if you like. And I have some other videos on scapegoating, so please check that out. Jay Reed also has some wonderful videos on narcissistic abuse and scapegoating, so I would highly recommend him. And I was going to read something for him today. If you're going to hang on till the end of the video here, I can quickly read something that he wrote. Oh, maybe I'll read it next time. Anyway, yeah, I'm just sending you, you know, many blessings. You're a brave soul. You're a brave soul to do this work, and to recover from this really horrendous kind of abuse, that has really just, you know, yeah, shredded your integrity to bits. And now you're, you know, putting yourself back together as you heal and become more whole every day. Yeah, you're on the right path, and you are healing. So if you're feeling, you're healing. Wishing you many blessings on this journey of healing and awakening. And I'm Davina at Boldness Blooming.